So I'm
Okay.
standing there and I'm like, it's really smoky in here. And it's not weed smoke. And it's not, I don't know what it is. So I go over to the guy and I'm like, hey man, like, were you smoking in the bathroom? And he's like, oh yeah, I just smoked a bunch of DMT in there.
Oh
And
boy.
and I was like, oh my God. And he's standing there with me and he's got throwing knives and he's throwing knives at this dartboard. And he's like, do you want to throw knives at me? And I'm like, no.
Welcome back, Bannock folks. You're listening to another episode of Bannockdotes, the one podcast in Ontario that's holding it down for the underground sound, showcasing unsigned bands from genres such as hardcore, screamo, metal, punk. We take some of those musicians from Ontario, bring them on the show, and have them tell some of the wildest stories they have from being in a band. Any sort of anecdote they have from being in a band. Therefore, the name Bannockdotes. How you doing, folks? I'm glad you're with us today. I got some exciting news here at the Bannockdotes camp. I got a brand new logo done up. You can check it out at our Instagram at Bannockdotes, Bandecdotes. Yeah, it's like a metal looking logo. Hopefully, making shirts out of it. You gotta let me know, folks. Would you buy t-shirts? I don't know how I would set it up. Probably just do local stuff because that's who's listening right now. So let me know if you would buy a Bannockdotes t-shirt because I'm thinking about making them and I don't want to go ahead and pull the trigger on them if nobody's going to buy them. Don't forget to like and subscribe in whatever podcast app you're listening to, whether it be Spotify, the Apple Podcast app, Google, Stitcher, anything of that sort. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, review, follow us. Make sure you're telling us that we're doing a good job here at the Bannockdotes camp. And yeah, if you want to be a part of the show in any capacity, if you want to be a guest, or if you want to have your music featured at the end of the month where we do the new music of the month episode, shoot me an email, bannockdotes@gmail.com. And hopefully live music is opening up soon because my one band, Sinner, has a couple dates coming up in the fall. I can't announce them just yet, but hopefully soon. Maybe by the next episode, I'll be able to plug some dates. And yeah, hopefully that's the idea. We don't want to go into another lockdown. We all got our vaccines, so we're willing to make this work. And as it is right now, we have some dates penciled in. Obviously, nothing set in stone, and we're ready to prepare to kibosh the whole thing. But yeah, we got together yesterday for the first time, and I think this year, actually. I think the last time we did anything was our Halloween live stream that we did last year. And, it was like, nothing had changed. We managed to get cooking on some new tunage. So, yeah, people who are listen to the show who are stoked on the band, get stoked about that. And Hellbent, we're still working on that EP. I know I mentioned during the Joey episode that we're going to have a cover EP or with a bunch of stuff. I think we chopped a bit of those track lists in half and maybe put out a collection of EPs of covers. I don't know what we're going to do, but there's stuff in the works and maybe September. I don't know. I can't promise you anything with Hellbent. Thing is, we just kind of go and play by ear, and that's how we roll with the punches on with Hellbent. This week, the sponsor is Feetsies, the portable foot bath. Now, have you ever been on a long commute on a plane, train, or automobile and thought to yourself, I've got some time to myself, some time to clean my feet. I don't do this often enough, or I don't do it at all in the shower. So you brought your Feetsies, the portable foot bath. You bust it out. You got to use the portable foot bath Feetsies water that it comes with. You can't use tap water. Toss it up. Take your socks off and let your feet cook. And then it's got a massage option that it can scrub all the dead skin off. And when you're done, you can expel the water either on an airplane bathroom or if you're on a train or bus, you could just toss it out the window. It's no big problem. That's Feetsies. And they're great. They're the best portable foot bath that I recommend. This week, Feetsies is offering a discount of 20% off of their retail price. Make sure you go to feetsies.com, feetsies.com/Banecdotes, BANDECDOTES, and type in the promo code PHIL, PHIL, or PHILL, one L or two L, doesn't matter. And you can use and redeem your 20% off today. Make sure that's Feetsies, the portable foot bath. It doesn't matter if people think you're gross in public. You need your foot bath. This week, my guest is Ben Begbie. He does vocals in a band called Still Numb that just released a debut EP called For Those Still Holding On in May of this year. He also plays drums in a band called Gouge Out. And he's also a tattoo apprentice at a shop in Toronto called Dark Saint Tattoo Company. Him and I mostly talk about Still Numb because that's more of his baby, whereas Gouge Out was a project that he joined after it had started. Still Numb had just released their EP, so we talked a little bit about that. He recorded it with Davis in the church, probably one of the last projects that Davis did in the church because, as you know by now, Davis has moved in with my homie Nick at Schoolhouse Studios out in Dundas. But Ben and I talk a little bit about tattoos, some of the ones he likes to tattoo, some of the ones he doesn't like to see. We also talk about the Title Fight wall. I don't know if you folks have heard, fans of Title Fight. The Hyperview album cover is just a mural somewhere in Kingston, the Title Fight's hometown. Apparently that's being torn down or something like that. And Ben and I talked a little bit about that. So yeah, we had a great conversation. I'm going to get the show started off with a song by Gouge Out. This is Nine Eyes here on Banecdotes. Hey, Ben. Hope you're doing well. How's your day been so far?
Not too bad, Phil. I just got back from our jam space, the Kill Room. I left my keys there, so that's why I was actually a little late for our interview today.
You jam in the kill room, eh?
Yeah. We rent a monthly practice space there. We've been doing it for quite some time. Obviously, not using it during COVID,
Right.
as well as I've been doing some painting there, or rather procrastinating on doing a mural there.
Oh, cool. That's super cool. Yeah, and the kill room is like a DIY venue spot in Hamilton. I've actually Hellbent's never played there for some fucking reason. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, yeah. So essentially, to explain the Kill Room for people that don't know, it's an indoor skate park. It's in the bottom of an apartment building behind a convenience store, so it's very private. If you know, sort of thing.
Cool.
The ramp's actually from CBMK in Mississauga, which is where I grew up. So me and my friends actually grew up skateboarding on that ramp,
Oh,
and
interesting.
oddly enough, live around the corner from it now in Hamilton. Yeah, so it's a
That's
pretty neat space.
That's super rad. Oh, fucking right on. What a good way to start off the podcast. So I've let the listeners know what you do, but tell us in your words, your role in the Ontario heavy community.
So I play in two bands. I play in Gouge Out and Still Numb. I play drums in Gouge Out, and I do vocals in Still Numb. Nate and Ayrton play in both bands, and then our drummer Graham only plays in Still Numb. He's got his own project as well, Bitter Sleep. Super cool, bit different than what we were playing. I also tattoo. I tattoo like a lot of people, I guess, in the hardcore community, pretty much almost exclusively, it seems. These guys love their tattoos, I'll tell you that. So that's kind of what I sort of give back, I think, to a lot of people is just like, meeting them and talking to them about like what they do and trying to give them like art that they like on their body. We recently got into like printing our own merch and stuff, so I think we might offer, or I guess myself would offer doing that to other people in the future, but I'm not too sure about how that's going to go, just because everything's been so busy with going back to work and everything with COVID.
Yeah,
Because obviously
totally.
tattooing was closed for a long time, just like any other service like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's awesome that like you and it's so many of your band members just not only have one endeavor, but like what, two, and then like another member of your band's got the other project. That's so cool that you got so much going on.
Oh yeah, everybody plays in like at least two bands, it seems.
How do you manage to keep the one project not sounding from the other? And now I often get that question from like a vocalist standpoint between Hellbent and Sinner, and I just try and keep it as simple as this: is Hellbent silly and Sinner's like serious. But how do you keep it separate?
That's actually like a super good question. I would say Gouge Out is much more leaded by our Nate, who is the singer and guitarist in that band, and he sort of like writes a lot of the riffs and like has the main ideas for what that project is. And me and Ayrton sort of like do our own parts to flesh out like what we do and don't like. But for the most part, like Nate is definitely the creative genius behind Gouge Out, and like kind of our guide to that style of music, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
With Still Numb, it's like a bit of a different story, I guess. Me and Ayrton kind of created the band, I guess, probably about 2018. We started like writing our first songs together, and it was just me and him. And like we essentially wrote everything, like the drums, bass guitars and vocals. And then we like wrote a single and just sort of like looked around for members, which is how I found Nate through like the hardcore scene and like looking for a member. He was looking for a drummer. I was looking for a bassist. We found our drummer Graham through a pal Fernando and Single Wound. So it was kind of just like a community that got our band together. And then me and Ayrton like writes a lot of the guitar parts, and then I sort of am the finger pointer of yes and no. I'm the bad guy that tells them what's good and what's not, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then we kind of build from there, like we all have our own opinions on our parts. We all play multiple instruments. So it's easy to be like, hey man, like you should try this. And if like you can't explain it, you can just show it to them, right?
Right. That's an interesting concept. I don't think I've ever had that kind of dynamic in a band. Um, that's really cool. But so Still Numb's been a band since, what'd you say, 2018?
We've been writing our EP, yeah, for about 3 years, I guess. It
Yeah,
took forever just to find people and make sure it was perfect and then get money together and just like I think we really did our best job at making it exactly what I wanted it to be with in terms of the art and the music
absolutely.
and so it took a long time to find the right people to do that and to execute it and to make sure that we had enough practice and time into like making it awesome. And like it's like like I'm the most proud of it I've ever been of anything, I think.
That's super rad. That's super rad.
Yeah.
What are some of the band plans for Still Numb now that for the rest of the year, now that things are kind of slowly opening up?
So we have a show on September 18th.
Oh,
It's with
nice.
Yeah, where we're gonna be playing with Single Wound, Rust, and Trauma Model, I believe.
Oh,
If I
fuck.
if I messed that up, I'm sorry, guys.
Trauma models are my boys.
Yeah, those guys are super cool. We've got to play with them a couple of times with Gouge Out. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to play with Stillnum just during the pandemic.
Right.
So we've kind of just been releasing everything online and sort of figuring that stuff out. But we're definitely excited to go back full force and like tour and get things going.
Where's that show happening again?
That'll be in Hamilton. I believe it's going to be at Doors Pub unless the venue changes over to the Kill Room.
Hey, true, true, true. Awesome. I'm gonna definitely have to come out to that show because I like every band on that bill.
Oh, absolutely. And for you guys that don't know Doors Pub, it's a taco and metal bar. It's got like the best vegan tacos.
Oh, it's got the best tacos just in general. Like,
Yeah, even if you're not vegan, they got the best tacos.
one of my favorite things about the Doors is like I don't live in Hamilton, but however, if I did, I would be going to the Doors all the time because I know how often that they're booking bands, so that you
Oh
can just
yeah.
wander upstairs and just catch a show. And whether it's busy or not, that's besides the point. It's that because touring bands are always doing this. Like I've been there when there's been an empty room, and I've been in there when it's been packed, and it doesn't really matter. They're always booking shows. So if you ever want to ever just check out and listen to metal, it's mostly metal and heaviness for the most part. Yeah, you could always just count on going to Doors Pub and then grabbing yourself a taco and just listening to metal. It's like a typical like headbangers like dream.
Oh yeah. No, it's great. Like they throw shows for I believe like nothing, if not very cheap. Like
Yeah.
I've seen every local band like ever. I feel like play there. It's amazing. It's good food. It gets so hot in the summertime. So
Yeah.
bring deodorant, guys, if you ever go there. But no, it's amazing, and that's right next to Hess Village too, which is super cool. There's a bunch of awesome bars there.
I love Hamilton. I love playing Hamilton. It's such a good time.
No, yeah, it's great, especially for a musician. It's cheap. It's like it's easy to get around. There's lots of parking. It's not like Toronto where you get screwed driving the van or something around.
Yeah, yeah, the old ticket there.
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Spend all your money earned on the ticket that you got.
yeah. So I noticed you also play like bass as well. So like you play like you do drums and play bass. What got you started playing music in general? What was your first band you played in?
So I played music ever since I was like 10 years old. Ayrton, who plays in both bands, like we used to be next door neighbors, like ever since we were like really young kids, like maybe
Oh,
like 2 or 3 years
cool.
old. So we've been like playing music together forever, doing like Enter Shikari covers and
Nice.
like just the whack things you do as a child, having fun. And then when I was 18, I moved out to Waterloo
Mhm.
and I played in a band with Kyle O'Mara, Brendan Wharton from Way the Anchor, and another guy, Ryan. And we played in a band called Bricker, which was like a Waterloo hardcore band.
Oh,
We
cool.
only released a single, and then we kind of played a bunch of shows, and then it sort of fizzled out. And then we did a pop punk band with Cole Frank from Single Wound, pretty much all the members of that band.
Oh, nice.
Um, and then that kind of fizzled out again. And then these two bands sort of came to fruition. But all those dudes still play like music. Like I said, Cole plays in Single Wound. Brendan plays in Way the Anchor. We're all still like really close friends. I live with Cole Frank actually.
Oh, really? Right on.
Yeah. He shares a bedroom wall with me.
Tell him what's up. We'll have to have him on the podcast sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love to. I've showed him the podcast. He thinks it's super cool.
Oh, right on, right on. Look, coincidentally, I think I was at the Schoolhouse Studios this weekend, and I'm pretty sure I caught a listen of what some of the new stuff that they were making. I think it was them. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it's super cool. I don't want to say too much,
No,
but
neither do I.
I'll definitely say that their drummer Gabe is quite good.
Oh fuck yeah! Exactly. We'll be listening.
They're all amazing. But
Oh yeah, totally. We'll be looking forward to that when that comes out. So yeah, now that we're speaking about bands from Ontario, what are some of your favorite bands from Ontario within the last year or so? What's caught your attention?
Trauma Lanes. I love Trauma Lanes. They're like close homies and Tattooed
Yeah.
Cinco. Good pals with Cole too.
Yeah, Gayton from that band. Well, actually, Gayton and Cinco used to play, or they used to work at the warehouse of at a store that I used to play or work at.
Oh yeah, okay. So you know those guys from over there then.
Yeah, I knew them before they were Trauma Lanes, which is kind of cool. So I actually have seen that band kind of like I'm sure you as well have seen that band just grow, and yeah, they're doing awesome stuff. They've got such a raw, natural sound. Yeah, Trauma Lanes for sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, yeah, no, they're cool. I would definitely love to play with them. The guys in Rust, we've been talking to them briefly over COVID. Super cool dudes. Stoked to play with them. Obviously, Trauma Model. I feel like I'm just saying the show that we're about to
play. It's gonna be a good show, guys. It's September. What was it? September.
I'm super excited. Reliever is amazing. I really like them. Same with Deadly Game.
Oh yeah, Deadly Game just put out that single.
Oh man, they just bring the fire. Like I don't even like. They're amazing. They're just so great. And like same with Teeth is a less local band, but I would definitely love to play with Teeth.
Oh, Teeth is heavy.
Yeah.
Those are all rad bands. Yeah, Ontario's got some friggin' rad bangers.
For sure. There's so much talent out here. Like my buddy Omar, who takes photos for the scene, he like just made an Ontario hitters playlist, and like I'll throw it on at work sometimes, and it's just banger after banger of like just local Ontario content. And what's even cooler is like you get to all the people because you see them everywhere,
Right.
Yeah, amazing.
I actually got to I was hanging out with Omar all this weekend.
Yeah, he's a super cool dude. He does awesome photography. We just recently did a photo shoot with Take to the Grave, which is like a tattoo apparel company.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he got sent out a bunch of clothes, and we like modeled for him, and he sent them back, and they posted them online. They looked awesome. He does a lot of cool stuff. Definitely hit up Omar if you want photos.
Oh yeah, I'll say it now. I had him on the podcast. He was my first guest and my first in-person guest that I had.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so we're gonna save that for like episode 30, just because it's I guess an even number or something like that for a special occasion. It's gonna be coming out around maybe a week or so after this episode or so. But yeah, Omar is such a rad fucking dude. So you're an apprentice at Dark Saint Tattoo Company in Toronto. How long have you been apprenticing for, and where did you find your passion for tattooing?
So I started in August of 2020. June of 2020.
Yeah.
So I've been there. I was there for about 4 months, got laid off due to COVID, obviously, because you can't be a tattooer. Then I worked in Hamilton for like 3 weeks, then Hamilton shut down. And so I've been off and on like tattooing for almost a year, I'd say, in this August. But I mean, a little bit of a sketchy year, being
for sure
off work so long. In terms of like tattoos, like I've always just been like a kid drawing on everything on the walls on myself. Like I still draw on myself now. I'm a grown ass man. Like, I've just always been attracted to the culture. I got my first tattoo when I was like 15 with my dad. Like,
oh, cool.
Yeah, it's just always been something I've been drawn to, I guess. I think it's like a really empowering thing to get tattooed and like to have things that you like on your body.
What tattoo did you get with your dad?
I when I was 15, I got a colon cancer ribbon with a bird through it for my mom who passed
Right
away of
on.
cancer. Uh, which is what we wrote our first single about, actually, which was about me like losing my mom.
Yeah, that's some heavy shit, man. My mom actually passed away this year, early this year.
Yeah, man. I know a lot of people in our community that have lost parents or lost someone very close to them, and that's what draws them to this kind of music, like heavy style of music, is like the comfort of knowing someone's there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Absolutely. Is there any kind of tattooing style that you absolutely despise? Sorry to switch the gears there.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool. I don't really like realism tattoos.
Fair enough.
It's just not my thing. It's okay. You guys can get realism tattoos. I'm not gonna judge you.
The wolf.
Yeah, it's whatever. The pocket watch, lion, rose thing, like it's just not for me.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
also, I guess, this new style of tattooing, if you'd even call it a new style, called like ignorant style tattooing, where it just looks like children scribbles and like it's really poorly applicated and it just looks terrible. It looks,
I'll have to check out what you're talking about. What'd you call it? What'd you call it?
I believe it's called ignorant style.
Ignorant
And
style.
yeah, and it's essentially just like if you gave your kid a bunch of crayons and he like scribbled on a page for like 5 minutes, and then you like slap that on someone, but like very poorly applicated. Like I'm
Oh
saying,
boy.
yeah, it looks like something you'd get in your kitchen, but apparently like Instagram loves this or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but it's definitely not for me.
You're not going to be doing them anytime soon.
I mean, if you want to give me a bunch of money, I'll do it. But I mean, tattooing pays the bills, right?
Are there any well-known tattoo artists that you look up to or admire?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody at High Five Tattoo in Hamilton, me and my roommates just got tattooed there the other day. Like Steph Neal runs an amazing shop. Morgan McDonald, I've been tattooed by him a bunch. He's so awesome. The people that like run Take to the Grave, and that clothing line are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, as an artist, I'm sure you like with anything, you look up to so many people. I feel like I could list people for forever, but definitely like Steph and Morgan at High Five, Franz at Baby Bird,
Yeah.
also in Hamilton, insane. The dudes over at John Street in Hamilton are insane. The people at my work, they're not famous, but they're fucking awesome too. Camille Tattoos, she did my back piece.
Wow.
We're like fully done now. It took 25 hours. It was a lot of pain. I'm super happy with it. And like, look up Camille Tattoos. She's sick. Caroline Tattoos as well. Like, has done me and a bunch of people in the hardcore scenes like tattoos. And then my boss, Michelle Musketis, like, she just is good at everything. Like, I don't know to say about that. Like,
she could just do it all, eh? She's the Dick Van Dyke.
Anything that walks through the door, she just kills it. So
right on.
Like, so shout outs to the people at Dark Saint. Like, you guys are homies.
Hey, you heard it here. Lastly, before we get into some anecdotes with each other, what's a tattoo that you really want to tattoo, but you haven't been able to, you haven't had the opportunity
to? There's a bunch of stuff. Me and Cole have been sitting on this like, it's a crawling panther with eagle wings and a snake tail.
Okay.
So that's one I'm definitely super stoked on. I'd like to move to just like more detailed, large scale work though, just because like it's more interesting. There's better money in it.
Right.
So I think I'd like to move to more large scale work, but definitely that panther is something we've been sitting on for quite some time. But yeah, if anybody wants like a sleeve or something, hit me up.
Right on. So let's get into some anecdotes. Tell me your wildest stories from being on the road or in the studio or anything in between.
So I talked to the guys, and we decided to go with these two. They're both from Gaujo, just because we haven't really been able to play with Still Numb
Right.
and do too many things with them outside of like our own group and the internet, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So our first story is so our friend Asma, he moved here from Japan. He didn't speak any English. He was like an ESL student, and he moved in with Nate. So I'm talking to him. He doesn't really know a whole lot of English, but we're chatting. And I'm like, oh, you want to come out to the bar with us? And he's like, oh, no, we can't. And I'm like, oh, why can't you? And he's like, I'm 18. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm a waiter. Let's see your ID. And he shows me his ID. And I'm like, dude, this is all in Japanese. There's no numbers on it. Like, how the fuck are they going to know, right? And he's like, oh, I don't know. So we bring him to the hard luck. We sneak him in. The bouncer's giving him a hard time. I'm like, man, he's from Japan. He's 21. Let him in. He's like, all right, fine. So he goes to his first hardcore show. He's like, he's down. He's into it. He's down to come with us. So like shortly after we have a show with Gaujo, and we're like, Asma, like come in the van. Like we'll bring you to the show. It's going to be sick. It's in Milton. It's not too far away. So we're playing with Trauma Lanes, and like the show's going all right. Like the nights we're having fun. And we have a fill-in bass player at that time. So it's me, Mike, and Nate, and Nate's girlfriend at the time. And we're there, and suddenly there's this commotion. And Mike and Nate are like, where is Asma? Like, where did he go? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, he's 18 years old. Like, I think he can handle himself. We're in Canada. And they're like, oh no. So they're overreacting. They think Asma's abducted or something. They're outside the venue causing a commotion. Everyone is like, what is going on? They're like, I'm looking for our friend. I'm standing there like, oh guys, like this is ridiculous. So we search around for like probably 15, 20 minutes. And Asma walks down the street. And these guys sprint over to him and like the greatest embrace you could ever see, and just like hug this guy, and they're like, what's Asma, where were you? And he was like, I went on a walk. And we're like, oh my god, man, like don't do that again. Like what the hell? You don't know, you don't have a phone.
You can't leave us. He's like a toddler. Like you just got to make sure someone's got eyes on Asma the entire time.
Exactly. It was like essentially like losing your kid in the grocery store, and like you had like 20 minutes of panic where it's like, oh my god, he's never gonna come back.
And he's not worried at all.
No, he's like, he's off in outer space thinking whatever. But he was hilarious. He was a good sport about it. We ended up finishing the show, and it was a super awesome show with Trauma Lanes at the Milton Legion. So that was super cool.
Nice.
Our other one that I would say was with Gaujo, obviously, as well. And we were doing our EP release show. Mm-hmm. And we were throwing the show, actually. It was like the last show before COVID ever happened.
Oh, nice.
And so Anthony like lets us into the kill room, which is, he's the owner. Mm-hmm. And he's all like, okay, like set up your stuff. Just like make sure like, you know, like you take care of the place, like whatever, don't screw around kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And we're like, okay, six, we're setting up our stuff. And there's this guy there who we think is acting a little weird, you know, we're not sure like what's up with him, but he's talking to us a lot. And we're like, okay. And I guess whatever, he was like staying at the skate park. He like lived in the spare room or whatever. Okay. And so he's acting all strange to us. And we're like, okay. So I'm setting up and I go to and I'm like, all right, Nate, like I'm going to go to the bathroom. Like you hang out with this guy or whatever. So I go to the bathroom and I'm standing there. And if you've ever been in the kill room, it's like literally like the size of a little closet. It's really tiny. So I'm standing there and I'm like, it's really smoky in here. And it's not weed smoke. And it's not, I don't know what it is. So I go over to the guy and I'm like, hey man, like, were you smoking in the bathroom? And he's like, oh yeah, I just smoked a bunch of DMT in there.
Oh boy.
And I was like, oh my God. And he's standing there with Nate and he's got throwing knives and he's throwing knives at this dartboard. And he's like, do you want to throw knives with me? And I'm like, no. So I leave. Nate's standing there with the guy like I guess this is a great idea. I'm gonna throw knives at the guy. I just bounced. I was like, man, no way. I'm like, am I gonna get high on DMT right now? That is a serious fucking thing. Like, I don't want to be tripping balls right now.
Yeah.
I was fine. Obviously, I guess you can't get high off like secondhand DMT smoke or whatever, but
Okay.
like, Jesus, was I thinking for a second?
Jeez, I mean, I would be too. I mean, like it's just like anything. You inhale freaking, secondhand smoke from pot or friggin' cigarettes. It's gonna have some sort of effect. Why wouldn't it with DMT? That's where exactly my brain would go.
Yeah, so I was like, and then I talked to Nate. Nate was like, "You're good, homie. You're good." I was like, all right, we got this. Let's go.
I like how Nate knew.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, nah. I've looked into it. You can't do that.
Nate's a scientist. He knows everything about the body.
Nate, that's actually on his it's on his driver's license. Nate the scientist.
Yeah, Nate the scientist, space lord.
There, yeah. Space Lord. Yeah, Nate the scientist, Space Lord.
He's gonna hate me for saying that. That's okay.
What's your go-to gas station snack?
Oh, gas station snack? I'm not a big snacker necessarily.
Oh, true.
But I do like, I'm more of like a drink guy. I like Arizona. I like grape Arizona.
Oh, grape Arizona. Nice.
Yeah. I like work next to this convenience store. So I guess it's not a gas station, but recently I've been on cream soda Dr. Pepper. And that is like something next level.
I don't know if I've had that.
I'm not a big pop guy, but that's a good drink right now.
I'm gonna write that down.
Cream soda Dr. Pepper, dude.
Right
on. They should be plugging me right now. I want a PBR sponsorship. All right, Pabst all day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure all the representatives are listening to this podcast. We're fairly popular.
Of course. Gotta do the plug where I can, right?
Exactly. I've been doing this thing, and I'm hoping the listeners have caught on. But I've been doing this thing where I've been doing fake ad reads at the beginning of the show, simply because I listen to a lot of podcasts myself, and I hear all the ad reads, and I don't have any sponsors, so I figured I would just have fun with it. So I've just been doing these fake ad reads, and I'm just having a blast with it. And
that is too funny.
I've even had someone reach out and be like, "Oh, I'm so glad that you got a sponsor now." And I don't know, I can't recall if I even acknowledged that or not. I just want to be like, I hope you know that it's a joke.
yeah, just right over the head for them, I guess.
What's one of the best gigs you've ever played? Doesn't matter which, with whatever band.
I really liked the very first show I ever played with Gouge Out. That they were already a band, and essentially they needed a new drummer at the time. And we played with Respire and Infant Island, and I just always thought that was a super cool show. We played at Sneaky D's. Respire, if you don't know, they have like a horn section, and I think they got a violin player, and like all this stuff. And then Infant Island is just this like crazy, like emotional kind of technical like band. I don't really know how to describe them, but they were like super awesome. They were from the States, and like I just remember having like really fond memories of that. My dad and his girlfriend came to the show, and like they just thought it was like super weird but cool, I guess. There's obviously been like so many other cool shows, but that one like really sticks.
That's the one that sticks out.
Like a favorite. Yeah, just because it was like one of the first ones, And yeah, actually we did a great like show actually as well in Waterloo. It's a venue that's not there anymore. It's called Harmony. It was called Harmony Lunch. We did a benefit for like homeless youth.
Oh, Harmony Lunch. Yeah, that place ruled.
Yeah, so it was like I think it was like, man, it was like 20 or 30 bands. We played like second last at like 1 a.m, and like I used to live in Waterloo actually because it's like a university town. Invited all my homies out there, and like we just like tore it down. Like it was such a good time. Like people were standing on tables. I was like in the pit with my like crash cymbal. Like
nice.
Like Nate was like on the table. The bartender's screaming at him, yelling at him to get down. Like it's just a good time. And then everybody cleared out after, and I felt really bad for the last band, but it's
It
the
is
way
what
it
it
goes.
is.
Yeah, after like 20 bands, you don't want to watch anymore, right? Like,
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't become the thing. And I think everyone's gonna just want to see every band when things like when the gates really open. I think everybody's like yourself. You mentioned your show, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to that one, like for sure.
yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
gonna
Like
miss
I've
it.
been watching like jazz bands in the park because I like need music. It's you know, like, and that's not like my forte or anything. I don't like love jazz, but
Right.
it's something. It's seeing something.
It's
So
curbing it's curbing something.
yeah, like even if we can see shows behind barriers or whatever, I mean, shows are going to come back, it seems like right now anyway. It's just because of being in phase 3, but
Right.
it's just going to take a little time, obviously, for everybody to get momentum and feel comfortable.
If you were at the level of Metallica, so let's say either Gouge Out or Still Numb, you guys are like one of the most well-known bands out there. And you're gonna play an arena show. What's your rock star rider? What's gonna be in the green room for you as you walk in?
Oh, okay. Definitely vegan food because half of our band is vegan.
Oh,
Nate and
cool.
Ayrton don't eat meat, obviously, because they're vegan.
Right.
Definitely PBRs.
Nice.
We like PBRs a lot.
Like a keg.
I feel like a keg would be excessive. I don't know if we all have that much self-control. Anything else? Definitely, I think vegan food and PBRs would be enough.
That's it, eh?
Maybe some weed. We all like weed, except Ayrton. Ayrton doesn't like weed. He's weird. He's vegan.
He doesn't like weed. That's fine. No, not everybody likes to have to like weed, but I mean, yeah, you would probably want a little bit of weed in there since you're at the
cooler if you did.
Yeah. That's great. Do you have any gear share nightmares from playing in any shows? Like, have you ever had any bad experiences sharing out any gear?
Oh yeah, at our EP release show, I backlined the drum set, and the band before us like went straight through my bass drum head, so we had to use another bass drum.
Oh no.
I don't know. Nate could tell you better because he loves to unplug his guitar and for his amps to break, especially in the beginning of Gouge Out. So he would be able to better tell you than I would.
Oh really?
I don't know. I've had my drum set like fall apart though, just because like people like have poorly like set it up or whatever, and
right.
Like before you get there and you're like, oh, I'm about to play. Oh no, everything's falling apart.
Yeah, everything's all my stands are adjusted, and yeah, that's.
But for the most part, like especially in the Ontario scene, like everyone's so respectful and like
yeah,
like like you like only really share the stuff that you aren't gonna break, like cabs, and
right.
I mean, you still can mess up a cab or whatever, but like we've always been super careful, and I would hope like other bands would give us the same courtesy. So like I don't think we've had any like sort of gear share nightmares really.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's good.
Other than when every band is like, I don't want to bring the drum set, and then everyone brings their band and everyone has drums, and then you're in the venue and it's like 7 drum sets in there, and you're like, well, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah. And then friggin' changeover is at least 20 minutes.
Oh, it's brutal. So if you play drums,
don't bring your drums.
Don't bring them. Or bring them. one guy bring them. One guy bring the drums.
And establish it easily. In these friggin' gear share chats, drummers should be like, I'm the drummer. Y'all should, if there's any other drummers in this chat, kick them right out. Get them rid of them.
No more drummers. Yeah.
Get them. I am the drummer of the night. Listen to me. I'm bringing my kit.
Like I'll see shows it'll be like 2 months out. The guy will be like, all right, like, who's bringing the drums? No response. 2 days before. So like, who's bringing the drums, man?
Yeah. And then it's that case that you just said. Everyone shows up with the drum kit, and it's like, man, it's the bands that really don't look at the gear share chat, and they're like, what do I do? Like,
just bring everything.
Yeah, just bring everything. We're just gonna play out of our stuff. We're comfortable with it. And it's like, you guys have the exact same cabs.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Now this is a big one, but I'm sure you could be able to answer it. What are some of your top 5 artists of all time?
Oh, that's actually not that hard.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, good.
I love Knock Loose. Like,
Yeah,
amazing. Like, I just love like their aggressive style. Like, Pop Culture is my favorite album ever. Like, it's only 5 songs, but it's 5 songs of pure just like smashing.
yeah.
And I love that album. Touche Amore is a big one for me. Love
Mhm.
Touche Amore. Um, I mean, I like Counterparts. Who doesn't like Counterparts? We're from Hamilton.
Exactly. You can't go wrong with Counterparts.
Um, Getting more like bands like Citizen. Like Citizen was a super big one for me, and Title Fight too. Like when we
Totally.
first started writing like our record for It's Still Not, like it started off sounding like Title Fight, and then it ended up being like what it is now, I guess.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so like I definitely love that band. One more. Expire too. Expire was an awesome
Oh,
band.
yeah. Expire. They
Um,
were super cool.
yeah, like just like great New York style hardcore, like super cool. Like oddly enough, I've seen like Counterparts, Expire, and Knocked Loose all at one show together.
One
So like,
show, eh?
yeah, it was insane. It was like I think it had to be like back in like 2016 when they were just touring like either their first record or like Laugh Tracks. I'm not exactly sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, Knocked Loose is awesome, but I don't want to see them headline. It's too long.
You
An hour of Knocked Loose, like I
get
love you guys.
exhausted.
I love you guys, but it's too long of a breakdown.
That's fair. Did you see that they're like trying to get rid of like the like mural for the Hyperview cover for Title Fight?
Yeah, I saw Sally post about that. That's
Yeah.
really bummy. Like it's definitely a cool piece of art. I don't know why they would want to cover it, but you know,
Yeah.
money runs the world, right?
That's just it. That's just it. Well, right on, right on. Well, thank you so much, Ben, for taking the time to do this for me. I think we're going to end off the episode there. Where can the listeners find Still Numb and Gouge Out on all the social medias? And if there's anything else that you have left to plug or give any shout outs to, now would be the time.
Okay, you can find Gouja and Still Numb and like anywhere you stream music. So YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Buy our stuff on Bandcamp. Like it's sick to make money, like I said. We're gonna be doing a t-shirt pre-order probably pretty soon. So
Nice.
keep your eye out for that. Our socials are at Still Numb Music and at Gouge Out. Shout outs to Sour Jelly King. She did all our album art. She's a photographer and model.
Oh, right on.
I met her through tattooing. She's a super cool lady, super awesome photography. Shout outs to Maddie G. Guy takes amazing photos. He took photos for us in the studio that we've been slowly trickling out over Instagram. And like, shout outs Cole Frank. He's such a funny roommate. Like, what a good guy. It's always being so supportive. Check out Singlewood. Like, they're amazing homies. They make amazing music. Like, yeah.
Right on, right on. So we're going to end the show with the song called Surroundings by Still Numb. Take it easy, Ben.
Take it easy, Phil. Have a good one.
Another point, a twisted fantasy. I know I'm a dead end.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Banecdotes. That was my conversation with Ben Begbie of Still Numb, Gouge Out, and Tattoo Apprentice. We got the show started off with a Gouge Out tune called Nine-Eyed, and in the middle there, we played Half Truth by Still Numb, and at the end there, that was Surroundings by Still Numb. That was their single that they released. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, rate and review. Follow us on Instagram at Banecdotes, Bandecdotes. If you want to be a part of the show in any capacity, whether it's a guest or have your music featured on the New Music of the Month episode, shoot me an email, banecdotes@gmail.com. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Take it easy.